So hello guys, sorry for that, my mic was out. So hello guys, welcome back to another video in our channel and welcome back to this interesting show. Yes, hello Melon and hello everyone. So we are back at it and it's that time. You know, it doesn't matter whether the ownership changes, it doesn't matter whether you sign players, whether you have a new manager or not. There's always that time when you're a Chelsea fan that the clouds generally gather, and the clouds have gathered. The sky is gloomy. It's winter. It's December, the horrific December, and yeah, we are back at it. We are back where we in familiar territory. If you are a Chelsea fan, you know very well that this is a familiar territory. We've always been here. We've always been here and we always know what comes next. It doesn't matter whether it is Roman Abramovich, whether it is Clear Lake. I don't know about Ken Bates, but for the past 20 or 25 years, we probably understand what has actually been happening at Chelsea. Maresca has done enough to keep his job. Some people are way too reactionary and impatient. So first of all, I just want to talk about this. So I actually shared statistics today where in the video that I've just produced, you can probably go and check it if you've not, the Everton Chelsea victory over Everton. So now Isaac is here and also Isaac has something to say. I will just give him an opportunity to say it. But I just wanted to give you this instruction. So after the game, after the victory against Everton, Maresca made some very controversial remarks. He talked about how he never felt supported and how the last 48 hours, actually after that Atlanta game, have been super. They have been one of his worst 48 hours at Chelsea. So why would a manager make such a kind of statement? And everybody thought that probably that statement came from the backdrop of fans, because some fans, including myself, criticized the way he approached that game. Not his overall outlook of the club, but the way he looked to approach that game. However, what we are realizing is that Maresca doesn't even have issues with the fans. He's actually talked positive with the fans, but he has issues with the top management. So the question is, does he have issues with the sporting director who he reports to, or does he have issues with the ownership? And how is the Chelsea ownership so involved with him to a point where just failing to win 3 games because he probably just lost 2 and drew 1? How is that a situation that can actually make the manager feel that he has to come out to the media? Unless this is something that has been happening behind the scenes to the point where the manager actually had to now come out and let the cat out of the bag. Now, there's this thing I had said in our WhatsApp group that I recently saw Maresca not being proud of wearing the Chelsea merchandise. I think the last time I saw Maresca wearing the Chelsea kit, the jacket, the trouser, the shirt that is branded Chelsea, was in that Arsenal game. So the Leeds game, I think probably the Leeds game. Let me just check. Let me just check the Leeds game, because I think probably it's the Leeds game that was the last time I saw him wearing it. And I made a sarcastic comment and said, guys, are you not realizing that Maresca, actually the Leeds game, he didn't also wear the Chelsea kit. So I made this observation that, guys, are you realizing that Maresca is not wearing Chelsea's merchandise? And I was starting to relate myself with this thing, because that is the same thing I saw with Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard also used to like to wear Chelsea kits, but towards the end, we started to see Frank Lampard transitioning to just wearing his own clothes rather than promoting the club merchandise. With Thomas Tuchel, we also started to see him towards the latter stages of his time at Chelsea. He also started to do that. So it's been a recurring thing that whenever you see things are going so different, I cannot say that about Pochettino because Pochettino always used to alternate. Sometimes he would wear the Chelsea kit, sometimes he will not wear. He will actually just wear his own jacket and his own outfits. Now, this statement that Maresca made me remember what Pochettino actually said before Pochettino walked out. Because a lot of people always talk like Pochettino was sacked at Chelsea. No, Pochettino did not get sacked at Chelsea. I don't know why the media likes to push this narrative. Maurizio Pochettino was not sacked by Chelsea. Maurizio Pochettino walked out. And that's why after the season, he talked about that they are going to review. And when you listen to whatever Pochettino was saying towards the latter stages of the season, because we were actually on an incredible winning streak. We had won six out of our last, was it 9 games? The last 6 games we won them. The last 6 games, the last 6 consecutive Premier League games, we had won them. And it was like Mauricio Pochettino has finally understood what it takes to win games at Chelsea and control matches. The way he started to invert Cucurella inside alongside Caicedo, and we were looking like, wow, Chelsea are actually building something. We are scoring goals. We are controlling the game. And probably Mauricio Pochettino has understood what he's supposed to do. But despite those victories, in the closing in towards the last game of the season, Pochettino said some things that were super, super incredible. He started to talk about he doubts his future at Chelsea. And people asking themselves, why is Mauricio Pochettino doubting his future at Chelsea? He had actually taken Chelsea from 12th, moved them to 6th. And towards the latter stages of the season, especially towards the second leg, Chelsea were amongst probably the top 4 best teams. Actually, because they had started poorly in the first leg, it made it difficult for them to actually get to the top 4. But in the second leg, they were probably one of the best teams under Mauricio Pochettino. So a lot of people were asking, why is Mauricio Pochettino talking like this? Then it came out rumors that the board were going to evaluate Pochettino's record towards the end of the season. But here's the thing. Pochettino had gotten Chelsea back into Europe. Pochettino had already started to work with these young players. But what we were not told is that they did not differ based on Pochettino's performance, because they expected Pochettino having a team that finished 12th, and that was the same season Chelsea signed Palmer. That was the same season where Fernandes was now going to have his full season. Caicedo was signed in that season. Lavia was signed in that season. Colwill came back to the club. Conor Gallagher was actually somehow the captain. Rhys James was out injured. Ben Chilwell, his situation was not well understood. And actually, at some point, Pochettino was playing him as a left winger, which really pissed off a lot of Chelsea fans. And Mount had left, Kai Havertz had left. So a lot of players had left, as Pilqueta, Mendy, Thiago Silva had remained. But there was a huge, even Jorginho had left. Mateo Kovacic, I think, left later on in that season. So there was this kind of huge player overload, because even Koulibaly had left. So the question was, why is it that Pochettino has achieved all this and he's talking about leaving the club? And myself included, because one thing that I have to say about myself is that I always buy hope from Chelsea. So my hope was that, yes, you sacked Thomas Tuchel, which I was against, because I knew he was a good manager. I know the squad needed a lot of turnover. He started to go through difficult times, but it wasn't a catastrophe. By the time they brought in Potter, it wasn't a catastrophe. So I didn't understand the reason. Maybe they said that Tuchel was not aligning with what Todd Bowley came out and said that whatever they were thinking did not align with what Thomas Tuchel was thinking. So I say, okay, no problem. You've sacked him. He was a Champions League winner. He won the Super Cup. He won the Club World Cup that season. He finished third. The Lukaku debacle. Thomas Tuchel went. They brought in Potter. It became a disaster. It became a total disaster until Cole Palmer Frank Lampard had to come in. And when Frank Lampard came in again, it wasn't that salvation that Chelsea needed. But I had started to buy hope because they appointed Potter and gave him a 5-year contract. So I was like, okay, this guy has done a great job at Brighton. He's worked with young players. Probably he understands this new Brighton model that Chelsea want to implement. So he was given the time, but it didn't work. So they sacked him and brought in Pochettino. And with Pochettino, I knew this guy has an experience because he's worked with Tottenham. He has made Tottenham finish fourth couple of times. He's made Tottenham a consistent top 4 team. He's improved Tottenham. At some point, he even had Tottenham challenging for the title. So I knew Pochettino would take this team from 12th and probably put them in the top 6. Maybe the next season put them in the top 4. Maybe in the next season now put them to challenge for the Premier League. But did I think that Pochettino was going to win titles for Chelsea? No. I didn't think that Pochettino was going to win titles for Chelsea. Why? Because I do think that Pochettino was Spursy. He has his Spurs. He has that Spurs mentality. That's why he lost the Carabao Cup to Liverpool's under 21s. But however, I still backed him. When he finished that season 6th, I was like, yeah, we were in the pits, and finally we find a manager. He's able to get the best out of Jackson. He's able to make Cole Palmer look like a world-class player, because nobody should forget that Cole Palmer blew up under Mauricio Pochettino. Jackson finished that season with 15 goals in the Premier League without scoring penalties. So it was a very, very good team. Colwill had started to establish himself in that back line. Thiago Silva was looking to go, but he was mentoring the young defenders. However, the injury situation, because of Pochettino's intense training sessions, was catastrophic. So they talked about evaluating Pochettino's time. But when the season ended, Pochettino felt like he even came out and said he doesn't know whether he will be at Chelsea next season. But what did the club tell us? The club said that they had given Pochettino a 2-year contract, that they are going to give him 2 years. Then after those 2 years, they are going to evaluate him. But did that happen? That did not happen. That did not happen. I had hope that they were going to give him time. So out with Pochettino. Pochettino walked because that was also the time when Chelsea were doing this. Listen to what Chelsea's owners were doing. They were signing all these players. Those are the time they were bringing in the likes of Mudryk for 80 million, Kani Chukwuemeka for 45 million, Mudryk for 80 million, Kani Chukwuemeka for 45 million. They were bringing in a lot of players. Lavia was coming in, Caicedo was coming in, and we had a bunch of players, Armando Broja. So they were signing all these players, spending all this money. Then once they spent all this money, they now had to try to balance their books. And they were telling Pochettino that we are going to start selling some of your key starters. And one of those key starters was Conor Gallagher, who actually in that season was more like Chelsea's captain because Reece James was out injured. But what happened? They pushed that they had to sell Conor Gallagher. They wanted also to sell Trevor Chalobah. And Pochettino was like, there's no way that I'm going to create a team and one of my key players, you're going to sell him. You're trying to sabotage me because you want me to sell one of my key starting players so that you can go and throw money at another youngster, and you can't allow me to actually harness the squad. You don't allow me to build something. So it became clear that Pochettino was not agreeing with the transfer policy. Respectfully and mutually, Pochettino walked. In comes Enzo Maresca. So Enzo Maresca is a manager who I really, really rooted for, because I thought that this was the manager who was going to come in and instill a level of control in that Chelsea squad. The positional play philosophy that he worked with at Pep Guardiola, what he had done in Leicester. I was like, this is the guy. This is the guy who's going to do it. And one thing that I have to say is that I am impressed with Maresca in his first season. He was a world champion. He is a world champion. And he beat the odds on beating one of the best teams in Europe. And that was PSG. Then he also won the Conference League, which was expected of him. In the Premier League, he moved Chelsea from finishing 6th to finishing 4th in his first season. Now let's compare Pochettino with Maresca with some of his counterparts. Klopp was not able even to get Liverpool into the top four in his first season. Arteta finished eighth consecutively with Arsenal. Before Arsenal started to peak, he finished eighth twice because he had a young team. That was when he was introducing the likes of Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Eddie Nketiah, Granit Xhaka. He was introducing the likes of Saliba into the team. So Arsenal finished eighth two consecutive times because even when Gabriel came to Arsenal, he wasn't one of the best defenders. They still made mistakes, but Arsenal persisted. That's why Arteta has been able to. Yes, I know he's not won the league, but he has been able to put Arsenal in a position where they are challenging for the league. So here comes a manager who has achieved that in his first season. Top four, done. Conference League that was expected of him, done. Champions League, no. Club World Cup, he did quite well. That is what was expected of Maresca. And he actually went ahead and do it. And remember, he had now to balance the team because the team also had a lot of injuries. Lavia was out throughout of the season. Enzo Fernandez was not at its best. Maresca had to mold Enzo into what he wanted him to be. And that worked with Enzo towards the latter stages. So you're like, yeah, this is a strong start. This is a strong season. You've met the requirements. You've met the minimum requirements. Now, in comes you winning all that. In comes the transfer window. Your number one center back is out. Your number one center back is out. In fact, both of your starting center backs, because when all our players are fit, that back line, it's Colwill and Fofana. If all our defenders are fit, that back line is Colwill and Wesley Fofana. So both of your starting center backs are out. That is like Arteta coming into the season and Gabriel and Saliba are out. That is how it is. It's like Pep Guardiola coming into the season and Ruben Diaz and Vardiol are out. It's if Liverpool come into the season and Van Dijk and Konate are out, despite what Van Dijk and Konate have been recently, but that is how it is. So both of his starting center backs are out. His captain, Reece James, he has to manage his minutes. Lavia, who's supposed to come in and deputize Caicedo, is never fit. Noni Madueke gets sold out. The fiasco with Nicholas Jackson, because remember the fiasco with Nicholas Jackson, as much as people want to put it on Maresca wanted Jackson to remain. He wanted Jackson to remain. Even when everything happened to a point where Liam Delap got injured earlier on in the season, what happened? Maresca requested that Jackson should be retained because he never wanted Jackson gone. But the decision was, let's sell Jackson. So you go and bring in Delap, you go and bring in João Pedro. João Pedro is a half nine, okay? He's coming in to replace Christopher Nkunku. Delap, you are expecting him to come and replace Nicholas Jackson. So, which is a downgrade based on what everybody now agrees that the treatment of Jackson was bad. So that is what happened. You start the season well. But look at it. Yes, I'm not here to try and advocate for Maresca. I'm not here to try and say that Maresca is the best thing since sliced bread. No. What I'm here to say is that, yes, Maresca makes mistakes here and there. But one thing I can say is that I believe in continuity. I believe in longevity. I believe in time. Rome isn't built in one day. You see, a lot of Chelsea fans subscribe to what Chelsea have been doing in the last 20 years. And I cannot blame them. They have sacked managers and seen success. But here is a situation where the league is different. You're not going to bring in a new manager and he's Jose Mourinho or 4 or 5, wins the Premier League with 95 points, concedes 15 goals in an entire season. No. This is not just going and sacking a manager and bringing in Carlo Ancelotti and he wins you the league and the FA Cup. This is just not going and sacking a manager and bringing in Antonio Conte and he goes into a winning streak and wins you the league. That's not how it happens. There's Pep Guardiola in the Premier League. There's Mikel Arteta in the Premier League. Even Klopp, when he was there in the Premier League. So you come in, you find managers who have worked with their team a minimum of 5 years, a minimum of 5 years, and you want to come in and think that you're going to boss them around and win the league. No. Guardiola had created a machine that won 4 league titles in a row. How did Guardiola do it? Longevity. He's the longest serving manager in the Premier League. Look at the situation now. The managers who are competing for the league are the longest serving managers. Yes, Slot came in last season, an anomaly. He won the league. But how did he win the league? Arsenal were in shambles. Arsenal last season were not even in a title race. Manchester City were in a pathetic state. Do you think Slot could win the league if Manchester City were in their strongest phase? No. So what I always say, am I here to try and defend the manager? No. I don't care whether it is Maresca who's in charge. When Pochettino was there, I defended Pochettino. When Maresca is there, I defended him. Even Lampard, I defended him to a point where I saw that, okay, probably he's not ready for the job. But Maresca is a manager who will listen. He will know that he has made a mistake here. He will listen. He made a mistake with Manchester United with the red card. The last time we had a red card, he did not go ultra defensive. He brought in attacking players and he played well. That is what I say. Yes, you can be a manager, but you're able to listen, take in corrections. Yes, he tried to give Tosin an opportunity at the team, but you could see we dropped points against Brentford because of that early goal that he let in. We saw what happened in Karabakh when he played. He gave out a penalty. We saw what happened against Leeds United when he played. Now, Maresca is expected to rotate players. No team can play the starting 11 every 3 days of the week. You cannot. You cannot play, especially now that the games are more intense and the fixtures are clogged up. The Premier League is as tough as the Champions League. So there is no way that you can go light in the Premier League. You get beat. You cannot go light in the Champions League. And I know this pressure has come because the board fears that Chelsea might be knocked out in the initial phases of the Champions League. And yet they expect Chelsea to probably get to the quarterfinals or probably the semi-finals. But the question is, you want this from the manager. Have you equipped him with the squad that he needs to get this? Because I might demand you to do this, but have I enabled you with resources that can necessitate you to achieve that level of success? Look at the squad. Look at the squad. Look at the key players in the squad. Robert Sanchez, very instrumental. His passing, his shot saving, very instrumental. Look at the backline. Colwill, Fofana. That is our starting centre-back partnership. Look at the fullbacks. It's Rhys James, it's Cucurella. Look at the midfield. It is Enzo, it is Caicedo. Number 10 is Cole Palmer. Right wing is Pedro Neto. Left wing, you don't even know who's supposed to play in the left wing. And then you have João Pedro up top. Now, the question that I'm asking is, look at even the nature of signing left wingers. Yes, you did not want to pay up Jadon Sancho's wages. You've brought in Garnacho and Gittens. So are Garnacho and Gittens at the level to dominate? That's why I'm saying, yes, you might try to blame the manager. You might say the manager has this problem and that problem. But the question is, how have you built the squad? How have you built the squad? I know very well that Maresca is a manager who would want to go full throttle in the Champions League and go full throttle in the Premier League. Look at when Guardiola had one of his strongest teams. In right wing, he had Bernardo Silva and Riyad Mahrez. In left wing, he had Raheem Sterling and Jack Grealish at some point, or Raheem Sterling and Leroy Sané. In the forward line, he had Aguero and Jesus, or he had Aguero and Haaland. No, Haaland came after Aguero. He had Aguero and Jesus. In the number 10, he had De Bruyne or David Silva. He had Fernandinho and Rodri. He had Gundogan. So when I look at it, I'm like, yes, the left side of Chelsea has been completely ineffective. Everybody knows that if you want to stop Chelsea, move to the right, overload them in the right, deny them the space to thrive in the right. Because that is where Neto plays, that is where Cole Palmer plays, that is where you're going to get Gusto, that is where Estevao plays. But look at down the left. Garnacho sometimes can't even take his man. Gittens, you never know. He will beat everyone, then his end product is not the best. So that has been the situation. Look at the left back situation. Sometimes I look at the lineup and I cry for Marco Correa. I cry for Marco Correa. He's always playing in the national team. Correa plays for Spain every single game he plays for Spain. When he comes back, Caicedo can get a rest. João Pedro can get rest. Estevao can get rest. Rhys James can get rest just playing in England. But Cucurella has to play in Spain, come back and play that game on Saturday. And that game he plays after the international break, he will play for 90 minutes because those players who will be resting the first team players will not be good enough to win the game. So Cucurella has to play. Cucurella has to play because you cannot even trust Jorel Hato to play there. And I cannot blame Hato for not being a good left back. Hato is not a left back. He's a center back. And he's 19 years old. He's a 19-year-old center back. I don't expect him to be winning aerial duels against Haaland, against Mateta, against Calvert-Lewin, against Gyökeres. He's 19 years old. So he's that center back who you bring in and play him alongside an experienced center back in probably FA Cups and Carabao Cups. The last time we saw Hato play was the Carabao game, and he was paired alongside a clown. And once he was paired alongside a clown, that's what you saw happen. Just a disaster. So that is the situation that Maresca finds himself. So when Maresca makes these rotations, yes, some of them, does Maresca make mistakes? Yes, he makes mistakes. He makes a lot of mistakes. I come out and correct him. I come out and say, like in the Atalanta game, there's no way you're playing Gusto as a number 10 and Estevao is rotting on the bench. Bringing Estevao. But I am a fan. I am a fan. I can react that way. I can say you can do better. But as the ownership, as the board, as the sporting directors, you are the one running the club. The information is coming out that after every game, he has an analysis report with the board. Like, how do you have to go and explain your job every day? Okay, how are we making are we ever even going to attract top managers at this club? After the game, you have to explain why this and this and this and this. Why? You just watch the game. It's football. You're going to win games. You're going to lose some games. Even Pep, the best manager, probably in football history, loses matches. He's not going to win every match. No manager is going to win every match. But when the manager is going through a bad spell, that is where, as the board, you come in. You reassure him, we are confident in you. Go do it. Go do it. We are backing you. Even when the fans are making noise outside there, you come out and you back him. Tell him, okay, you're going through a bad spell. We are going to back you. We are going to protect you. We are going to ensure that you are okay. Only Maresca understands Chelsea facts. Yes, he needs to rest Cucurella, yeah. So what happens? You are the one who's supposed to come up. But now the manager is coming out and he's saying that he doesn't feel supported, meaning that he's being criticized. He's being questioned. You are the board, you are the top, you are the highest ranking officials in the club. You are the ones who are supposed to be the most nonchalant. You're the ones who are supposed to be sober. You're not supposed to be reactionary like the fans. The fans, a manager can win 5 games and then he loses 1 game and they're like, oh, get him out, get him out, get him out. No. You allow the manager. Are Chelsea in a crisis? No, Chelsea are not in a crisis. We are in the top 4. We are in the top 4 even as we speak. Are we out of the Champions League? No, we are in the Champions League. Are we out of the Carabao Cup? No. Look at what happened with Amorim in his first season at Manchester United. Look at Manchester United now. Even when Amorim was going through hell, they still came out and backed him. It's not like we've been through hell with Maresca. We drew against Arsenal. We lost Leeds. We drew to Bournemouth. We lost to Atlanta. 2 losses out of our last 4 games. But now the manager is coming out to talk about these things. Yes. Do I agree with Maresca's approach? No, because now Maresca has created a problem for himself. Because he now came out and talked this thing in the media. The minute you bring these things to the media, that is what the media wants. And I've always said this. The English press, the football media is usually happy when there's something controversial happening at Chelsea, because a lot of newspapers will be sold. A lot of articles will be sold. A lot of viewership is going to be given to this Chelsea debacle. They are going to get more advertisers. They always love a controversy. So Maresca just saying that he's not happy for 48 hours. Yes, Maresca is fighting with the board. Oh, Maresca has lost the dressing room. Oh, Maresca is not wearing the Chelsea merchandise. Oh, Chelsea are going to sack Maresca. That is what the media wants. So yes, Maresca started to say this thing, but he brought this pressure on himself. Because if he would have just kept quiet, appreciate it, and probably said, well, it's been probably one of my toughest times, but I hope everything will be okay. Just keep quiet. Because the media want that. And that is where, to some extent, I'm like, there is a lot of naivety. Because now look at what the media is doing. Now, even if you are to go and win against Cardiff and try to get into a run, all the players are being fed all this shit. So when the players are training, when the players are looking to play football, they're thinking, oh, our manager is going to get sacked. Oh, why did I sign for this club yet they don't have a clear vision? See, this can be like that Lukaku thing. I've always said, it's like, you see the way Slot has managed that Salah thing. He has managed, because the news that was going on was Salah. They were hitting at Liverpool, the Salah Slot debacle, Salah Slot. Now you bring in Maresca and the issues with the board. Now, Maresca has not even said that he has issues with the board or the sporting director. But what happens? The media has coined this narrative that there is friction between the manager and the board. Then they are now trying to say that Maresca is doubling down on his sentiment, or Maresca does not feel appreciated. Then what happens? These things now get to the board. Now you're putting pressure on the players. You're putting pressure. That's why I always don't want to hear media controversies. I don't. Yes, Isaac is back, and I'd really like to hear what Isaac says. Isaac, how are you? Hello. He's probably not answering.
Hi, Tyron. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm fine.
Yes, it's been quite an eventful week. First of all, you're happy at least with the win. We are back with the winning ways. We got back to basics.
Yes, right. It's a good win. It's a good win because we are coming from defeat at Atalanta, and don't forget the defeat we had at Leeds United. So I like the reaction from Maresca when we lost at Leeds regarding Tozina Darabioyo. That's a good reaction. And then for the games against Atlanta, I know that we were not much aggressive in that game. We could win that game in the first half, but the players were not so aggressive. We were like playing and thinking that at the end we are going to win that game, but unfortunately it came like that. And when
Uh,
you see those two performances, you might think that the Everton games
also,
also could be hard, but we won that game in the first half. That's good.
yeah, but also in the Atlanta game, I thought that there was a time when Rhys James had an opportunity to make it two. In fact, he had two opportunities to even make it three, and he failed to capitalize. Uh, I think we went into that game. We still have this. What I can say with Chelsea in the Champions League is that we have this Conference League fever in the Champions League. We
Mhm.
think that if it is not a team that we probably know of, like Barcelona, Real, Bayern, we don't turn up. We don't turn up because we've dropped points in the Champions League against games we should be winning. We should have been won that Karabakh game. We should have won the Atlanta game. Those were 6 points, and we should have bagged all of them. That is what I believe. Isalo?
Yes, you are right. You are right, Tyron. You are right. Because I don't know, Chelsea. The problem we have is that I can't say that I can't speak. I can't say about experience in this new format because it just started last year. And the way we are approaching our games in Champions League is the same way a team as Paris Saint Germain approached their games last season. It's the same way. And remember the way they qualify for the round
Yeah,
16. Yeah, yeah, it was the same way. But you know, what is not good in the way we are approaching these games is that if they want like more rest, if they want to minimize the number of games this season, we should qualify. We should get a place, first to eighth place. We should be there so we can qualify. So we don't have one game to play that playoff. We don't have
yeah,
one game to play. But they are putting themselves in the situation where if we don't qualify directly and we should play that playoff in one, it's one game more. You see, it's one game
yeah,
more. This is the
yeah,
bad things we in this way. I know we might be qualified, but the reason I wanted has to be between first place and eighth place is to avoid that extra game. And then the advantage, if you are qualified on those places, we have also opportunity to play round 16 and 18 at home. You see, there are more
yeah.
advantage. So unfortunately, it's not happening. Let's hope we can win the game against Paphos. I think Paphos and Napoli
We
to be
have
to
two
be
games.
qualified.
We
Yes,
have two
two games.
games.
Two games. Yes.
Oh, I thought it was one game. I thought it was one game, but
Yeah.
however, we can just
It's
win them. But
a,
again, I
I
yes.
don't know. They are from Greece. I don't know which country they are from.
Okay, okay. Yeah, there's no problem. So I thought that it was only one game. So if there are two games, then I really don't know. We will just win our two games and then hope for the best with the other teams. But I do think we are going to go for that playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So
we dropped points. Honestly speaking, in my
mhm.
opinion, we should have won all the Champions League games bar the Bayern
Of course,
Munich game.
of course.
All of them. I was confident in beating Karabakh. We should have won that. I think Hato threw that game out. Um, the Atlanta game, we should have also won that game comfortably. But we are getting to understand that I know a lot of people don't know that Caicedo made his Champions League debut this season. I
Yes,
think
yes.
probably it was only Rhys James, and it's only Rhys James and who? It's Rhys James, Cucurella, and Rhys James, Cucurella, Chaloba. Fofana has also played in the Champions League. Rhys James, Cucurella, Chaloba, Palmer. I think those are the only players who have played in the Champions League. A lot of those players, and Enzo, a lot of those players haven't played in the Champions League before. So I do think, but though I do agree to some point that Maresca fumbled his substitutions in that Atlanta game.
Yeah, of course. There is that a point about substitution, and there is also a point about rotation. Because you see, if you want to be a big team, let's see what big team are doing current now when it comes to rotation. I don't know if I've seen this season those big teams rotate more than 5 players. I don't think.
I
No.
think also Maresca, when it comes to his rotations, because now he was forced to play Rhys James in 3 consecutive matches. He was forced to play him. And I think he should have also played him in that Leeds game in midfield. I think when you play Rhys James in midfield, you don't give him that much room to cover than when you play him at fullback, because at fullback it makes him having to run back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But if he has defenders behind him, I don't think he has to run a lot. But one thing I can say is that the rotations I do understand. I do get why he has to rotate, because
Yeah, but not rotate
but
the entire.
yeah, not the entire team. I agree with you.
So what he should do? You see a player like Rhys James. Yes, you can rest him. Fofana, you must rest him. You see, Kukurea, you can rest him. But when you change like the entire team, and then you see, sometimes it's not only changing the entire team, but it's changing also the role of the player. You might see that it take this what is the name
Gusto,
of the Brazilian winger?
Estevao.
He might take Estevao, then he play him like number 10. You see, so
Or,
it's changing like everything. He might bring in Tozin, and he play Tozin as a left-footed. You see, he might play, I don't know, Tozin Achimpong. It means the entire defense change. And then when you put
because
like that, you put Tozin as a left-footed. So for him, when he change, he is changing like everything. In my opinion, it's not a right way to do things.
Okay, so one thing I had said in the Everton game is that he went back to basics. And when he went back to basics, he won the game comfortably. He won it in the first half, and he controlled the game. The
Yes,
basics are what? You play Palmer where he's best. Where does Palmer play best? Down the right. Play him there. Where have we seen Enzo playing very well? Down the left. Play him
yes,
there. You see?
yes,
He
yes.
went back to basics. And even, funny enough, it was Gusto and Rhys James playing in midfield against Everton. And they
Yeah,
controlled the game.
yes,
Both of them are fullbacks, and they controlled
yes,
the game. Because when you play Gusto deeper, you make Gusto's work easier. Yes, I
yes,
know Gusto is so key for him. I also understand why Gusto plays. Is that Gusto he covers a lot of ground. Like he runs a lot. He runs a lot. He gives a lot of energy. So I do understand he closes down. And even nowadays, I see he makes some nice light tackles. So when you have that energy of Gusto and the physicality of Rhys James, I think that is what he should have even gone with in that Leeds game. He should have just started Rhys James and Gusto. You see? So Rhys
yes.
James and Gusto are there together. And because Palmer was not there, he should have even played Rhys James and Santos. You see?
Mm.
But I think he's also learned that mistake. When you're making changes, it's okay to make changes. Just introduce like to like changes. If you're taking out Enzo during the game and he's the number 10, bring in
Yes,
Esteva, or bring in
yes,
Gui and tell Gui, you play forward, let Joao Pedro drop into that number 10. You see, nobody's
For,
going to complain.
for example, you want to substitute Enzo. If the game started, let's say with Enzo and Palma, both of them on the pitch, and you want to substitute, in that time you might now bring Estevao, you push Palma as number 10. Now you play Estevao as a winger. You see, in that case, you didn't change much things. Estevao is playing on his role. Palma already played that game as a winger. Now, when you substitute, he can now move inside. Even for the opponent, something changed. They were playing with Palma as a winger. Now they have to adapt their game, like to play against Palma as a number 10. You see, but what we've seen is like Maresca might take João Pedro. He
And
played
bring
as
in Santos.
yes. You see, so
Yeah, I think that.
sometimes he's doing things like that. But as you said, I know Maresca, honestly, is also learning. This is what we have to understand. He's learning.
And also,
He
one
has
thing I can
he has
say.
the situation of the red card. Now he's learning something else.
Yeah. And I also think that Arsenal last season, remember Arsenal last season getting red card for Rice, getting red card for Trossard, getting red card for kicking the ball away. Remember?
Yes,
Now
I do.
Arsenal, I do understand that for you to be that team, the league is I've always said this, the league is the most difficult thing to win. Because the league you have to be consistent for 38 games. For 38 games.
Yeah.
And to win the league, it also needs a lot of maturity. It needs a lot of maturity.
Mm.
You need to be so mature. Yes, I know once this team is able to win the league, it will not be difficult for them to win the league. They will be winning it. That's why it is easy for Manchester City. The reason why it is easy for Manchester City is because they have done it. They have done it recently. So for them, they know how to win it. They know how to win it. They are not scared about it. They know what to do to win it. If they have to win 10 games to win the league, they will win the 10 games and win the league. You know that. So, in my opinion, I've always said is that, yes, Maresca makes these mistakes, but is that one manager who listens and changes. Sometimes he's always open to listen. I think sometimes he even listens to podcasts because he always sits down and makes the change. Like that red card situation, he'll make a change. Like that Atlanta game where he played Gusto as a number 10. I know he's not going to repeat that. That is the good thing about him. He's not like Amorim. Amorim will play that wing back system. Even sometimes when everybody will tell him, you don't have wing backs, just play with wingers. He'll be like, no, this is the way I play. It's either you play the way I play or you go.
Yeah, you are right.
That is the way Amorim is. He doesn't change. He doesn't change. And even he said that if Manchester United have a problem with him, the way he plays, then they should be prepared to sack him. And there's a time he said that. Then he should not be at the club.
Yeah, right. So now coming back to the situation, I don't know. There is something I mixed up because as we are discussing now, I'm not in Lubumbashi. I'm in Kinshasa. Then
Yeah.
I had 4 busy days. I was not connected. It seems something is happening at the club with Enzo Maresca. He said something in the press conference. I don't understand what happened. What pushed him to speak like that in the press conference?
I honestly think that he probably faced criticism for some of his selections.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably think that he did not feel supported. Sometimes also as a manager, you want to be you want the club to support you. Like you can make a mistake, but at least they are there to support you because he's like one thing that I always say with Maresca is that he has credit with the bank. He has that club World Cup, he has that conference league. He won 2 trophies. He finished top 4, meaning that he achieved what he was supposed to achieve. So even if this season it was to reduce the points between him and the first one, then next season he can challenge, then he should be allowed. Because maybe last season we didn't have these red card issues. This season we have these red card issues. And why are we getting these red card issues? Is because Maresca is gassing up this team before a big game that you have to win 50-50s. You have to win your duels. So when players are coming onto the pitch, they're coming on in a bit angry. You saw the way Arsenal fans kept on complaining that Chelsea was so very, they bodied them. They were looking to try to outmuscle them on the pitch. See, those are the things that you learn
Yeah,
with time. And
yeah,
even Arsenal were weak. If you remember the way Arsenal used to be so weak, they would just be bodied even by
yeah,
teams like Everton. But what do you see with Arsenal now? They're the team that body other teams. And even Mourinho, he wanted that in his team. You remember Mourinho's teams? He used to have those players.
yeah.
So to some extent, I'm like, yeah, he's trying to create that. He might fail, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, we are not in a crisis. We are not
I
in a
think
crisis.
I think the issue with Maresca, I'm not living with Maresca, but I can describe the kind of people he is. Maresca, first of all, as you already said, is arrogant. We have to agree on that. He's arrogant, that
He's,
guy. And then
he's an he's an Italian. He's an Italian.
and he didn't took well the criticism he gets inside. Our criticism, as fan which are coming outside, is still arrogant. I think there is some criticism came inside now, and he didn't took it well.
It's like you
But
are telling him how to do his job.
yes, yes, yes. But he should understand that even people around you might disagree with you. That is life. Don't wait for people every time to agree with what you are doing. Sometimes people can say, no, I think you took this wrong. Don't
But but
make people always tell you good what you did as good. No.
yeah, I do expect that. I do expect that. But one thing I can say is that I don't expect that from the ownership. I don't
What?
expect that from the sporting directors. Then they can sit. But I don't expect the ownership to do that because you are now running a clown show like Nottingham Forest. Look at the Nottingham Forest owner.
Yeah.
This guy called Nuno had overachieved with Nottingham
Yes.
Forest. He had
Yes.
overachieved. Even the numbers were showing he had overachieved.
Yes.
This guy has already started to dream that the team can be in the Champions League next season. That is what he had started to dream.
Yeah.
Now, when he lost, he went to confront the manager who even made him to be in that position
Mm-hmm.
in public.
Yeah.
It's just like that's why even when we win games or we lose games, and then the likes of Todd and Egbali are going to the dressing room, I don't like that. As the
Okay.
owner of the club, you are supposed to be far. Just watch the football far. There's a reason why you've hired sporting directors. You watch the football. You only come in when there is a crisis. If there is that Potter crisis, that is when you come in. If there is that crisis where you've out of 10 games you have won 3, that is when you now come in and ask the manager what is wrong. But you cannot just lose 2 games out of 10 games and you've
I
lost 2
understand.
games out of 10 and you're already going to the
I understand.
as fans we can do it. As fans we can do it. As fans we can do it. We can go, hey, Maresca out. Oh, Maresca, you're doing this. Oh, Maresca, you're shit. We can do it. But it's not the
Yes.
ownership to do it. As the owner, you should be the most patient person in the club. The most patient. You see? And then you should leave that to the sporting day. You see, there's this structure that Abramovich had created at Chelsea, which was, you see the role that Peter Cech used to play. You remember
Yes.
when Tuchel used to say it? Peter Cech used to be that person who would link the ideas that Tuchel has with Marina. and the
Mhm.
board. You remember? So
Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
Tuchel wants to say something to the board or to Marina, he says it to Peter Cech. Peter Cech used
Mhm.
to sit in the board, and Peter Cech was so diplomatic that he could understand and know how to bring those points across. Maybe if you are a manager, you might be scared, or sometimes you might be angry that the board are not doing this for you. So when you have a person like Peter Cech, then Peter Cech can now go and talk and tell them, hey, by the way, this is the situation. Because Peter Cech also used to come to training, and he's a friendly guy. So
Yeah, yeah.
this is he's like he's your boss, but he's friendly. He talks with you, he walks with you, he comes to training. Sometimes he wears that thing, he trains with the goalkeepers. There's a time when Kepa wasn't playing well, and
Yeah,
Peter
yeah, I
Check had
remember.
to, he had to train Kepa. Yeah, true.
I remember, yes.
So I think one way that we can improve one way we can improve the club is
Mm.
bringing in a Peter Check. I think we bringing in a Peter Check might work well. I think
In
that
that
is what we.
in that same
Yes.
role. In that
Yeah, in
same
that
role.
same role. Yeah, yeah, where he's at Cobham, he has a office at Cobham, and he's the one between the coach and the sporting directors. Then the sporting directors deal with the owners and the board. When the board and the owner say something, it comes to the sporting director. The sporting directors they tell Peter Check. Peter Check tells the manager, so that there's this person here who can balance both. He can tell Maresca, this thing here, we can't do it, but this one we can give you. You see, this it's something like that, because now you cannot expect sporting directors who are never who don't come to training. They don't go to training. They don't stay at Cobham to understand. They don't go through the medical reports. You see, but if Peter Check is there with the manager, he's there training with the players. He even knows the feeling of the players. He can tell you that I see this player Jackson is not happy. You see, he can tell you, hey, Jackson is not happy. Oh, Estevao is happy. I see him play. He doesn't get game time, but he's a good player in training. But the coach has instructed me that this and this and this is the way you're supposed to develop. You see, so I think that Peter Cech role can really help Chelsea. I don't know why they kicked him out.
I don't know now if our new owner, I don't know if they might get that structure, but you are
Or how
right
do you
in.
see?
But I don't know if the owner can
But
build
do you
that
see?
structure.
But do you see it as a good structure?
Yes, if they put someone who can sit with the board and someone who
Can
played
sit with
before on the pitch, who interacts
who
directly, yeah,
understands the
with
game.
understand things, and he might be able to report to the board correctly, and even the board told him something, he might know how to deal with
To,
it with the
with the manager.
manager. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, it's a good structure. But the new owner we have, they always surprise us with the decision. Always.
Yeah, yeah. Because no, we went one day. We went to sleep. We woke up. Pochettino is gone. We went to
Yes.
sleep one day. We woke up. Tuchel is gone.
Yeah.
I don't know
And then
if it is me
wake up.
or yeah.
We recruit a young talent. I don't know from which team. You see, so we just sit and they recruit a young talent, a name which you never hear about.
Yeah.
It's always that with them.
So I have a question. I have a
Mhm.
question. Is it me or do you also feel like we need now to start giving managers time to implement minimum 3 seasons, like this season we can give Maresca and we are like, we want to see what you can do. Are you able to close the gap with the top? Are you able to win probably an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup, or even good, you win a Champions League? You see, the next season now we expect you to challenge. Do you think that is
Eh,
something that we should be thinking about?
I'm sure that if Maresca focus we might we might win the Carabao Cup. I'm sure I can do that. I'm
Yeah,
sure Maresca, the mentality he gave to the team by the end of last season to the
yeah,
Club World Cup, if he
yeah,
focused that mentality, we might
mm,
win the Champions League. I'm
yeah, yeah.
sure.
Especially if we get to the round of 16. If we get to the round
Yes,
of 16, we can. In a one-off
yes,
game, I know we can. I know we
yes.
can. The league is difficult.
But the Premier League, this is where the problem comes for the Premier
Yeah,
League. Look, in the next coming days, we must play Aston Villa, Manchester City,
Newcastle, Newcastle,
Newcastle, yes,
and
Newcastle,
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Yeah. You see, those four games for me are crucial. Why
Uh,
Aston Villa and Manchester City? Because they
you
are
beat
in the
them.
title, they
Yeah.
are in the title race. If we defeat those two teams, you see, we close the gap. For
Uh,
Arsenal, Arsenal, I know they are going to lose points somewhere. I'm 100% sure. I don't care about Arsenal, to be honest with you.
but it's
I don't care about
there's,
Arsenal. They are going to drop
yeah.
points.
So according to you, you're still clinging on this winning the league.
Yes.
In my opinion, I don't think we are ready to win the league.
Look, Tyron. You see those four games I told you? We won Aston Villa. We win Manchester City. I think we can close the gap.
Yes, we can close the gap with whoever is fast. That is not a problem. My opinion is if we don't win the league, it's not like I will throw all the toys out and say, oh,
I know,
Maresca is a failure. We have not won the league.
I know.
But
For the league,
I
for the
just
Premier
want
League,
the I just
for
want
the
us
Premier
to finish
League,
yeah.
okay. Go ahead, please.
I wanted to say I just want us to finish minimum third. And I can see the difference between us and the one who won the league is not more than 10 points, or if it's even 11 points. Then I can say, yeah, that is progress. That
You
is what
know,
I can say.
for me about Carabao Cup and the Champions League, I know that Maresca can do it.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
can do
yeah.
it. Yeah. But for the Premier League, I know it's hard. But I'm still up that
We can just try to be there for some time.
yes, yes. And that to be able to do that, we must focus on those actually on three games against Newcastle, against Aston Villa, and Manchester City.
In
I'm
my
telling
opinion,
you.
what I've always said, what Christian always said, I wanted Christian to be here, but he's not been here. What Christian always says is that you beat Wolves is 3 points, you beat Man City is 3 points. So yes, to some games when you win 6 points because you deny them points and you gain points over them. You see.
Mhm.
So what I can say is that
So
Aston
for
Villa
you,
have won.
you think that Arsenal can win the league?
At the moment, they are top of the league, so they can't win the league. It's not like they can't win the league because one thing I always say is that I don't look at sports the like I'm hoping that other person drops point. No, I can be the one dropping point, and he can be gaining points off me. There's
Mhm,
that. Just the same way
mhm,
we were saying that if we beat Arsenal, we close the gap to 3 points. What happened? We drew with Arsenal, but we went and lost to Leeds. We drew with
mhm,
Bournemouth. You see, so it costed us
mhm.
how many points? 4 points. We lost four
Yes,
points.
yes.
We win those game, we gain 4 points. 4 points plus 28, we are 32 points. So we'd be four
Mhm,
points behind Arsenal. You see, so us, we are the ones who went ahead and lost points.
yes.
So what I'm saying is, I can take the game the way Aston Villa have done it. Aston Villa have won, was it 8 out of their last 10 games? 8 out of their last 10 games. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you see, if Chelsea win all games that have remained in December, if they win all games that have remained in December, they'll be either number 2 or number 3. That I can assure you. Because other teams, yes, are going to drop points. But These teams are going to drop points. Are you going to win your points? It doesn't matter whether Arsenal loses 4 games
Question to
in a
you.
row.
A question to
It
you.
does,
Do you think
yeah.
that we can win all our games remaining in December?
I do believe that we can, because one thing I know is that Caicedo is back. Caicedo is a huge plus. Caicedo is a huge plus. He's a huge plus. We have suffered without Caicedo because there's one thing I always say. Do you know that even that Bournemouth game we drew because we didn't have Caicedo? You know why?
Yeah,
You know why I say
yeah,
that? Because when
yes.
Caicedo is on the pitch, as a manager, I'm confident of taking a defensive player and putting an attacking player because Caicedo is going to cover.
Mm-hmm.
But since Caicedo is not on the pitch, I'll be like, Enzo, do not leave Rhys James by himself. Stay with Rhys James back. So I'm denying Enzo the opportunity to go forward. But if Caicedo is on the pitch, I can tell Enzo, you go forward. Caicedo will cover by himself. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, I've seen statistics that our win probability has been 25% without Caicedo. Without Caicedo, out of 4 games, we win one. Without Caicedo. If we
Mm-hmm.
play 4 games, we just win one. But with Caicedo, if we play 4 games, we win 3.
Okay. Now, let's focus on our. Before that, I want to ask you a question about Aston Villa. What is their strong side?
Aston Villa are playing the Europa League, so they're not playing the Champions League. And there's just a team on form. Remember that there's a time when Sunderland was number 4. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
So it's just even if Chelsea, I'm telling you this, if Chelsea win the next 5 games consecutively, you'll be in the title race. If you win the next 5, look at Manchester City. Look at Manchester City's record. They have won like close to 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
Remember, they were supposed to lose that Leeds game. They won that
Mm-hmm.
Leeds game by the last minute through Foden. If they don't win that game,
So winning 5 games in the row,
you
it
just
means we have to
you will
win
be
at
the,
Park.
just take a game at a time. One thing I like about this Maresca has created with this team is that this team does not believes it can beat any team. That is one thing I like about this Chelsea player. They believe they can beat anyone because of that Club World Cup. They believe they can beat anyone. So you take the game at a time. Do not overthink. That is one thing I will emphasize. The Cardiff game tomorrow, do not change more than 5 players.
Yeah.
Change 4, but don't
I'm
go
just
beyond.
thinking that if it was possible to suspend a player, we should suspend Dozin. I think Dozin is bringing a negative energy.
I don't think it's more to do with the negative energy. It's just out of form this season. Last season,
Ah, last season
no,
Dozin
but
was good.
he was just okay. I cannot say he was good. He just did the bare minimum.
No, now we forget how to speak bad against Badiashile. Now we have Dozin. So every time
Yeah,
we are
even
getting.
Benoit. My day Benoit was bad. Like, if I was to make changes tomorrow, I will start by the way Chaloba. I will start Chaloba and Benoit. That
What is your
tomorrow.
line?
Yeah, I will even start Chaloba and Achimpo in that
Your
game.
lineup for tomorrow?
And that is going to come from the video. That is going to come from the video. But what
Oh,
I'm saying is,
and we can try to play Achimpong and Badiashile.
oh, I think we should start with Chaloba.
Why are you doubting? But that pair, they play against Liverpool.
Oh yeah,
Achimpong.
yeah, 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 yeah. They can play well, yeah. They can play well, yeah. Okay, but there I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. But they are giving me ideas. I wouldn't mind. Because
And
one thing about
they also.
I'm saying one thing about Josh is that when you look at him, you think he's not a good player, but when he's on the pitch, he's a very good defender.
I like that player. I like him. I like him. I like the way he played. I like the way he's carrying the ball. Actually, after Fofana in the defense, the a defender who knows how to carry the ball is Hutchinson.
Yeah, yeah. So what about? I think I would start Caicedo in that game to give him minutes.
He must. He
Yeah,
must start. He gets a long rest. Now he have to play.
I'm seeing Elba is saying hello. Hello, Elba. How is the Western Hemisphere? Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I will gladly start Moy tomorrow, but he will not play the entire game, just the first 60 minutes, and then I will take him out.
Why you don't want him to play the entire game? You are thinking about Newcastle.
No, I'm not thinking about Newcastle. I want us to finish the game in the first hour.
Okay.
I want him and Santos to start. I want him and Santos to.
That game against Newcastle, I think it will be tough.
But then I think that we are going to win that game.
Usually, Newcastle doesn't respect us.
Elba, you can join. You can join. Let me share with you the link. You're saying what, Isaac?
I was saying Newcastle didn't respect us a lot from the past.
But I can look at it and I'll be like, the last game by the way we played them, we got a red card. We lost 1-0 and we had that Jackson red card, and we still we were beating them. By the way, we were playing better than them, and we were man down. Remember, it was towards the end of last season. We were actually playing well with 10 men against them. Remember?
I remember.
In fact, we were creating more chances.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah. So I do think, in my opinion, I do think we are going to win that game. We have the potential.
They lost something in the attack. They are number 9. Voltemade is not doing as Isaac. Actually, he's the one who gave the victory to Sunderland.
Yeah.
With his own goal.
Yeah.
And I think for the moment, what happened with your eyes?
There's this ring light here that is, I think it's now too much. Let me bring in Elba.
Okay.
Hello, how are you?
Elba.
Mr. Tyrone.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just listening in.
Have you? What is the latest news with Maresca? Have they sacked him?
You would have known before I did. You would have known.
I've been here live with Isaac for close to 1 hour. So we are probably don't know what is happening, and nobody's keeping us updated with the comment in the comment section area.
Yeah, I wanted to. There was a day I wanted to come on your show, but you weren't live because I was hearing. Well, I mentioned it just now. I don't know if it's a propaganda, but somebody was talking about these new owners and their AI methodology. And if the rotation from Maresca is actually from the top, you remember how we were frustrated about the constant rotation.
Yeah.
And it seems like a conspiracy theory, but I wanted to bring it up to the viewers because it looks like this model, this ownership, they really truly believe they can make more money from player trading than winning trophies.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And if you look at when they came in here, there was a degradation of the academy because what they're doing is they use the first team for experience. And also, so if there's a youth, they buy a youth 16-year-old, they can sell them for a higher price if they can say, well, they played for the first team. And so they're recycling the first team players, but also potential youth because they can get a higher value saying, you know what, they have at least 90 minutes under their belt playing for the first team.
Oh.
We bought him for 16 million. You know what? The least we can take is 22 million because they have first team experience. And so there's a little conspiracy saying that Maresca and this rotation is that they constantly have to rotate because they want to make sure that the players they are going to move on with have minutes playing for the first team. So I wanted to know what
Hmm.
other people thought.
I think you've said something that me and Isaac have not talked about. Isaac, do you see that angle?
Which one?
What Elba is saying, that these guys, their main aim is to sign young players, and
Mm-hmm.
they want those young players to get first team experience so that they can sell them at a higher price. And they are actually the ones forcing Maresca to make those rotations.
Yeah, I've from the beginning of the season during our life, we always mention that there is also that side of business in this team. So the board, they are not thinking only winning trophies, but they think about business, about selling players. You know, for them, the reason they are like recruiting young players and give them long contracts because they believe that at any time club like Real Madrid or Barcelona, they can come in to recruit and then they can fix a good price for those players. There is that side of business as well.
And you see, one thing that I always say is that there's this thing I've come to realize: clubs are actually hiring huge social media influencers with a lot of followers to push a narrative. So if they want to sack a manager or they want to throw blame at the manager, they use big accounts to actually generate the consent from the fans. So that when they sack him, they'll be like, "Oh, a lot of people are also talking about him being poor." I remember the same thing they did with Pochettino. They used
Yeah,
even some YouTubers to make it like Pochettino is so incompetent. Pochettino can't do anything. Pochettino has that Spazzy in him. But when Pochettino was saying that you cannot sell Conor Gallagher, he's my captain and he has been contributing a lot to the team, he's integral to the way I play, what did they do? They said, no, we have to sell him. And Pochettino said, if that is the case, I cannot be building a team. Then you're taking my key starting players and selling them. So Pochettino walked. You see, people always say that Pochettino was sacked. Pochettino was not sacked. Pochettino walked. He walked at the end of the season. He could not accept it. Look at what they are saying. They are saying, remember what they said? They said in the summer of 2026, Chelsea will be forced to sell key starting players. That is one thing that people forget. They said that. And there were even some people floating that Neto is going to be sold. Do you remember that thing?
I
See,
remember.
you see, last season they sold Noni. Noni used to be like our starting right winger. They got
Yes,
Arsenal are able to pay this. They sold Noni. They were unable to retain. If they really cared about the development of this team, Maresca wanted to retain Sancho. They declined. They went ahead and said that it is Sancho who refused that his salary shouldn't be reduced.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I think they could have talked with Manchester United because Sancho was still a Manchester United player, that Manchester United are going to pay a some amount of his salary, then Chelsea are going to pay. Because both of the left wingers we've signed are Sancho is better than them. Sancho is better than them. Look at what they did with Jackson. They bought Jackson for cheap. And remember, Maresca was not the one who wanted to throw Jackson off. In fact, Maresca said Jackson was well, Jackson was doing everything okay, Jackson is good, he's still with our team, but at the moment, his situation is being handled. So that is why he's not in my team. But Maresca never wanted Jackson to be sold because Jackson was playing well. He was getting the best out of Cole Palmer. He was getting the best out of wingers. He was making runs. He was holding the ball better. He was even contributing in terms of the offensive play better than Dilap. But what happened? Because they realized they can get money out of Bayern Munich. What did they do? They forced that loan move. Even when Maresca tried to bring Jackson, Jackson was like, I can't come back. But Maresca had no issue with Jackson. So they forced that loan move. And now Jackson is going to end up at Bayern. And do you think they're going to refuse and say that we have Dilap and no? They're not going to say that we knew that Jackson was better. No. If Bayern Munich pay, they will sell Jackson.
Yeah,
and
you're
even
right.
this Estevao kid, a lot of fans had, a lot of my subscribers and a lot of people who watch my channel were constantly bashing me. Tyrone, you're coming up with the lineups. Why are you not including Estevao? But when we started to see Estevao playing, I'm not saying that he's a bad player, but he's inconsistent. Today he will play like a superstar. Tomorrow you will give him a game and he will disappear. The Arsenal game, for clear example. Before Caicedo was taken off, Estevao was not playing well. That is one thing people forget. He was not playing well. In fact, whenever the ball would be played off to him, Calafiori would get the ball off him. Even recently, when he was given a substitution to come onto the pitch, he had an opportunity to play a simple pass. He held on to the ball, and then the ball was sneaked off him. And in fact, you remember that chance where that ball was hit by Everton to the post and it did not go in. It is Estevao who lost the ball. He held on to the ball a lot. Instead of just getting the ball and passing it, making it simple, he wanted to dribble past everyone. He got saved that goal did not come in. Am I saying that Estevao is a bad player? No, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but there's even a way. He's a young player. You cannot put all that on that young player. There's a way Pep used to manage Ford. Yeah, he's 18 years old. There's a way Pep used to manage Foden. You remember the way people used to talk about, oh, Pep, you don't want to give Foden opportunity. Why are you mistreating Foden? You're not even playing Foden. And Pep used to say, Foden will get his time. Foden will get his time. Now Foden is stepping up in what De Bruyne used to do for Manchester City.
Yeah.
And even the same thing. Yes, Elba.
No, go ahead, Tony. I was saying I agree with what you're saying. He's 18 years old. And you have to also think about, and this is what frustrates me. Every time we get a new player, we sold Noni, we have to give that player at least one season to break in. So if we have Jackson, Jackson wasn't scoring goals. That was our frustration, right? But he made runs and all that. Now we've pushed him out. We'll make profit.
He scored actually 14 goals.
Right. But Dilap is going to take him at least half a season. Same with Andre Santos. Yeah, this is his teething issue time now with Andre Santos. Next season now, we're talking about Quenda. The reason why Gittins is not performing is because he has to teeth in. And so if there was a middle ground with this model, would be make the first team as strong as possible, then do all this your player trading nonsense on the side. Fans will not be upset. But there's no continuity because any chance for profit, these guys are going to take it. And it's not even a conspiracy. I just realized that it was one of the media people, I think either Matlaw or one of those, that explained the philosophy of why the first team should be used instead of the academy, because of what I had said earlier, which is if you have young players, now you can sell them for more value because you're saying they have played first team minutes, so they have some type of experience. I just wish there was a middle ground with this model. Make the first team as strong as is possible, then do all this player trading nonsense. I don't think we'll be upset.
I get you, Isaac. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, no, he's right on what Elba is saying. He's right. He's right. So they don't care about having a strong starting 11. No, they are in business. And then you see, Elba mentioned something that build a strong starting 11 and the fan will be happy. But those people are not working to make the fan happy. This
They're looking to make.
since the beginning of the season. They don't work to make the fan happy. They are in their business. Elba mentioned also the arriving of next season. There is that Quenda. There is who else? There is many
Pandas.
players
There
that
is another
come.
bird called the
Yes,
pandas. There is G.
right.
I don't even know these players. I don't know them.
Baez, Ken Baez is now at Strasbourg and he must come at Chelsea like next season. And then we are going to sell some of them to a good price. So they are in the business. So in those whole happening, I'm just frustrated on how we are dealing with the number nine. We don't have a number nine. As fun we are
You s-
expecting to get, we have Joao Pedro and Delap. Delap is coming, is not playing well, and then he gets injured. Then we have Joao Pedro, who is not adapting to all the games.
One thing that I have to say is that with Dilap has the physique to be a good number nine. He can be coached to be a good number nine. By the way, that is one thing about Dilap. He can be coached.
Delap,
He has the physique.
Delap
Yes,
disappoint Delap disappoint me. When we signed Delap, I was happy. I was expecting those shots. He has to shoot a lot when he was at Ipswich. Those
but
shots
you
I was
see,
expecting.
one thing I want to explain to you, Isaac, about Dilap is that Dilap profited for playing with a low block team. So that team that Ipswich relied heavily on counter attacks. So if you decide to play counter attacks, you'll get the best out of Dilap because he's going to get that space. Now with Chelsea, it's the opposite. You are the team where other teams are countering. So you are the one who has the ball. Out of 100% of the game, 72% of the game, you are the one who has the ball. Now, that possession based football is what has exposed Dilap. Because one thing with that system, Dilap is not a good player when it comes to linking up play. Dilap has a poor fast touch. Dilap is not able to win his aerial duels and shield the ball quite well. You see, Dilap
Mhm.
is not good in his positioning. You see, this is the thing. Even as a striker, you need to know how to position yourself so that
Yes,
you are always in the right place to score the goal. He's not good at that. Why? Because now he's in a team that has the ball a lot, that requires intelligence. That thing that Christian likes to call high football IQ is not there.
But let me tell you something, Tyrone. Guess what? I can still move him for 50 million because he has first team experience with Chelsea. So what if it was never really about all these things you're talking about, but the bargain that, you know what, this is young striker, we can get him for 30 million, and if it doesn't work out, we can move him for profit. Same as Garnacho. I think why they really wanted Garnacho is because they found him to be undervalued, and they know worst case scenario they can make at least 50 million pounds of profit. Maybe it's not like this. Again, one thing about all these things is unless you're a fly in the room, you don't really know. But I know the optimism that we're gonna win a Premier League. I'm gonna tell you guys. I think I think it's gonna be at least 4 years. I hate to say it, because if we wanted to make improvements last season, we should have gotten Mike Magnon, who is actually playing well now, for 20 million. We dragged with Inter AC Milan over £2 million, and we could have
Uh,
gotten a defender to reinforce. That's all I have to say.
But Elba, one thing I can say is that I don't think that Sanchez has been bad this season. Sanchez has not been a cause of alarm. He's done the basics. He's done the short stopping well. When it comes to playing from the back, he has done well. In fact, nowadays, because you see, Maresca gave Sanchez the freedom. He told him that you can even go direct. You know, a long time ago, Maresca used to tell Sanchez that if you go long, I will
I'll
bench you,
take
and that
you
is
out.
what made
Yeah,
Sanchez make mistakes. But nowadays, Maresca told Sanchez, if you can see a player making run, you go long. And nowadays, you see Sanchez plays with a lot of freedom. If he can
I
see
agree.
that Neto is
I
making
agree.
run, he plays well. Because
But
one thing that we
Tyrone,
always
this
have
is
to,
not about Sanchez though. What if Sanchez gets injured? We have seen how bad Jorgensen is.
you see now the problem is, that one I accept. That one I accept. Even Isaac accepts that.
And Tyrone, we just
Jorgensen,
bought another youngster last week. One name that I've never heard for 60 million. So there are parts
see,
of the team that can
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
Yeah, we just
yeah.
bought a youngster last week. We're still buying players in the middle of all this chaos. You can't tell me it's not obvious that these people player trading. They're like, you know what? Yeah, how much can you make from winning a trophy? But you know what? The money gotta be our player trading. The Brighton model, Brighton Chelsea FC. If you had a mixture of two people and they gave birth to a child, that's what Chelsea are.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If this is the game that they think they are going to play with the Chelsea fans, I think this Maresca coach will be the last one. You see, when I started this live stream, I talked about how we came, where we came from, until where we find ourselves at. You see, people would have bought the hope with Potter. They'll be like, they gave Potter a 5-year contract, so they were building something. Then you sack Potter, you bring in Poch. Poch actually does well. Then you don't give Poch a second season. He walks away. Now Maresca has come in his first season. He has gotten top 4. He has won 2 trophies. He has improved players. Then now you are sacking him. You see what is going to happen? The fans were not going to believe that the next manager is going to be that manager. And then the names they're throwing out, Iraola, yes, this guy called, what is the other guy? Glasner. They're bringing in mediocre. They're talking about mediocre. Okay, they're not mediocre. They are coaches. They are good coaches, but they are not Chelsea level coaches. You
Right,
see?
Tyrone, because the coaches have to fit into the model with the owners and the directors of football. Your job is to optimize the players we bring in, but
Yeah.
not winning
So
trophies. If they wanted to win a trophy in your right mind, why would you sack Thomas Tuchel? These are serial winners. Have you
Tyron.
noticed in this model, they're not hiring any serial winner coach, including Enrique, all of that? No. They need somebody. Your job is to coach and rotate the players. Figure it out. That's what they need from you. And we can't
Tyron,
lie that
you
Maresca
can,
overperformed his XG as a coach last season. I can admit that. I don't have a problem with him. I just feel like that he's under pressure. And now this model, he might be like, I don't know if I want to do this shit because I'm not gonna keep, Anyway,
Isaac,
I knew these moments were coming. I knew that. Do you remember the discussion we had where you try to tell me that no, they bring in a coach and then they bring some players, so he has to deal with the player he has. And I told you that it was not possible. You bring me as a manager, you cannot starting to recruit and just informing me on the player you are recruiting. I have to be part of that. I have also to tell you, see, I like the player like this. I want that player. I don't want that player. It must be like that in this role of manager.
but Isaac, one thing that I can disagree with you, but I do agree with you. is that the sports is usually that nowadays the manager does not say this particular player, but he can say, I want a left back who's able to do this and this and this and this and this. Then the scouting team goes and scouts a bunch of left backs. Then the manager can say, out of these 10 left backs, I think this and this and this and this and this will work. And now the sporting directors can pick one and tell him, pick this one. They can now negotiate with clubs and see which one can give them the best deal. So if probably I'm buying from club A, club B, club C, the manager has said that I can pick a left back either these three. And then I go to club A, it's expensive. Club C, they are not selling. Club B, they are willing to sell. Then they sign that player. That's why Isaac, I was telling you, the role that Peter Cech was playing, that role was what Peter Cech was playing.
Yeah, for this moment, that is not happening at Chelsea, you see. It's not happening like that. It's just the board sitting. I don't know if they have some spy in other countries. They see a player and then they just give a call that go and recruit that player. And then Maresca just sits and know that as everyone that we recruit a young player somewhere. This is how it's happening. Because one thing you have to know, Maresca is a manager. He learned to be a manager. And then he wants he's expecting to be a big manager one day. You see, he's seeing what Pep is doing, he's seeing what Arteta is doing, all those coach. This is his plan. He didn't come in your club just to help you make profits. No, he has also his career. He wants one day to be called, I don't know, by Juventus, by, I don't know, Barcelona or Bayern Munich. So he has to improve. He has to prove his talent now so he can get that opportunity to be called in other big teams. Same for the players. Yeah. They are not there just to help you to make profit. No, they have career. They want to win trophies. They are the one, as Estevao, dreaming about Ballon d'Or. They are this one dreaming about Champions League. So they want to achieve something. But if every season you come in, you sell some players, you bring the new players, so it's not the team will not. Yeah, of course.
So yeah, you've really made
at one moment you will see what Jimmy Gallagher said one day. Young players should stop signing for Chelsea. If we continue this way and we don't want trophy, tell me what will motivate a player to come in your team? Why that's player to go to Real Madrid? Because they know that if I go to Real Madrid, either I might win 3 Champions League or to win a Ballon d'Or. So what will be motivated players to come in your team?
Thank you. And also one thing to add is that Chelsea had a strong pull. Do you know that Chelsea had a strong pull even more than Manchester City? Like if Chelsea and Manchester City are going after a player, Chelsea will win that player ahead of Manchester City. That's the same thing happened with Jorginho. Jorginho, Pep wanted him, but Chelsea wanted him with Sarri. And he came to Chelsea. He didn't go to Manchester City. And Pep wanted him at Manchester City. So one thing that I'm saying is, I am now, okay, I was afraid of this, but it has come to be. Because look at even the Mudryk situation. They spent all that money on Mudryk. Look at the Mudryk situation. Look at the Kani Chukwuemeka situation. They signed Kani. A lot of us thought that, Kani is going to be an attacking midfielder. Is going to be what happened. They were signing Kani so that they can sell him. Even look at what happened to Cobham. We used to produce the best talents. And distribute them in the Premier League. There's a time where all 20 teams in the Premier League had a Chelsea Academy player playing for them. We had Nathan Ake, we had Loftus-Cheek, we had Conor Gallagher, we had who is this other player? We had multiple players. We had Lewis Hall, we had Bill Gilmer, we had all these players coming from the academy. All of them were coming from the academy. Even Tammy Abraham came from the academy. Even Tomori came from the academy. Nowadays, I think probably Josh. Look at Tyreek George. Tyreek George, they were selling him to Fulham. Remember that? They were selling him to Fulham. It's just that the deal fell off. But they were selling him. They were cashing in on him. So, and they are saying that, that's why I'm telling you, the players are going to realize it. And that's why I'm saying this. If this Maresca thing is not sorted quite well, this will be the breaking point. And it's going to attract protest, and it's going to attract the biggest, because now people are going to be like, no, the issue is not the manager. It cannot be that Tuchel is a problem, Pochettino is a problem, Potter is a problem, and now Maresca is a problem. No, it can't be that. You can't say that Enrique has come in, done an interview, and then you're telling us that Enrique is not more qualified, that Pochettino is qualified. You see, that is, in fact, that is what made me know that Chelsea never wanted to win trophy, never wanted to be dominant. They just wanted to develop young players, because they were like, between who's this guy, Enrique and Poch, who develops young players the best? Pochettino. Enrique will want to win. So Enrique is going to prioritize the strongest team to win. But Pochettino is going to develop young players. So when Pochettino came in, yes, Pochettino had that idea. But Pochettino realizes that he's developing young players to win and compete. But the board is telling Pochettino, no, we want you to develop them so that we can sell them. And that is when Pochettino was like, then you're setting me up for failure. You want me to build a team. Then once I build a team, you want to come and pick my best players and sell them. And that's why I'm saying, if they wanted to play that game, they should have bought Brighton, not Chelsea. You see, this thing is, you see, the fans are going to turn. You see, Chelsea stopped the Super League. Chelsea are the ones who stopped the Super League. The Chelsea fans are the ones who stopped the Super League. They're the ones who incited each other, went and started to protest. Manchester United fans joined, Liverpool fans. That's what happened. And these media houses did that. Now, what is going to happen is that Chelsea fans are not going to take that you're selling to them hope that they're supposed to. Remember, this is another season we are going without a front shirt sponsor. Look at this. We don't even have a front shirt sponsor, and we're in the Champions League. They lied to us that if we get the Champions League, we're going to have what's this thing is called what? The basketball, the Jordan. We're going to have Jordan logo on our shirts. We didn't get it. So the fans are now going to see it. You see, after this Maresca thing is when because the fans, you're not going to tell them you have sacked Maresca. You're hearing names like Southgate. Who's Southgate?
Actually, that
Southgate.
I never see what that manager made in his career. Maybe I don't know him enough. Tell me, but that Southgate, even the England national team, I didn't see what they were producing as game when he was the manager. I don't know.
He's not such a good manager. If he was such a good manager, the English media would have hyped him up to take one of the top clubs. If he was so good, he was so great, the way the English media are, they would have even hyped him to replace Klopp in Liverpool. That's what they will do. Remember when Brendan Rodgers came in, the way they wanted to make him, even wanted to compare him with Pep. That's what they would have done. So that's why I'm saying this is going to blow up. This is going to blow up because now another manager is coming out to speak. Pochettino said it. Tuchel was sacked because of that. So your aim is not to improve the team. Now Maresca has this team, has this core of players that he's working with. He has this great team he's working with. You are telling him you want to see Estevao being given minutes. You want to see Hato being given minutes. You want to see Santos being given minutes. When they are given minutes, they regress the team. When they are given minutes, the team doesn't play well. Then the manager is unable to meet his target. You are setting the manager up for failure. Because one thing they have always said, even when you look at the journalists, they are saying Chelsea are not going to abandon their model of signing young players. What happened when Colwill got injured? Maresca said, we want a centre-back. What did they tell him? They are not going to sign any centre-back.
Let me correct you. He wanted a specific type of centre-back. because he knew the effect of what Colwill did. Meaning, I need a center back that can pass the ball directly to our guys in the half spaces. Right? That he was specific. He didn't say give me two. He wanted a specific type of center back that was like Colwill. And these people said, well, in our opinion, we have enough to work with. And at that time, I was like, you know what, maybe they're right. But if the coach insists, then I would go with him. But now with the rotations, it's now making more sense to me because I'm like, this guy is under pressure. He has to rotate. This rotation is not, hey, if you feel like rotating, rotate. I think part of this model is he has to rotate to the Santos, no matter how bad they're playing, because their value has to keep staying up. Like warm water, you shake it every now and then, it gets a little hotter. You have to keep their value up. So every 2 or 3 games, you must play one of these youngsters because of their value. Not because of where the team will end, because of their value. So I think last season, Maresca performing his XG as a coach. They were like, you know what? This buys us more time. Because the fans will be like, you know what? The model works. But in reality, the model works for profit. The model is about profit. They said it. The American owner, what's his name? Todd Bowley. He said it. He said, based off of the math, I can make more money by selling players for little 20, 30 million, the Brighton model, than how much I'll get from a Champions League. If Champions League will give me 90 million, if I buy and flip 20, 30 players over the span of 2 years, then I've made more money than how much I'll win from the Champions League. So why would I focus on that? Remember, these guys are private equity. They are from private equity.
Yeah. They have brought in the American stock market to Chelsea Football Club. You see, what they are doing is actually it's like the stock market, because what you notice is that Clear Lake is a hedge fund. It's where people go and buy stocks. Then when they buy stocks, they invest those stocks. Those stocks are supposed to generate returns for the stock from the shareholders. So what happens now is that we are playing Wall Street with we are playing Wall Street with Chelsea.
And I can tell you this, if you're from the UK, I know there are UK people that are already upset that American owners are coming. I'm telling you, it's not going to take long. Other American owners they talk to each other, these billionaires. How much money did you make? Oh, in 2 years you made 1.5 billion. Next thing you're gonna see more American owners coming into the EPL. And if you even think about geopolitics right now, right? The US is trying to cut itself off from the UK and EU. They said UK and EU are broke. So you know what? More Americans are gonna be like, you know what? We can make a lot of money in the EPL. That one might be stretching it, but again, all these things are all cause and effect.
But
Sorry,
it's actually
Isaac,
true. And before Isaac comes in, I can say that it's actually true. I actually believe that is the case. They are going to commercialize the English football, and that's what Americans do. They're now you'll now start seeing the Premier League talking about having Beyonce in halftime, making halftimes to be 30 minutes long. The Super League is going to come back. They are going to do it. That's why you see what FIFA has also done. They are outpricing the FIFA tickets, and even some of us getting a US visa to just go and watch the World Cup is an impossibility because of the guy who's there. So the sport is dying. The sport is, especially since capitalists have taken over. It's over. And Chelsea will be, because I'm now seeing. You see, one thing that I'm seeing with fans is that you saw long time ago, fans were like, no matter what happens, even if we go to relegation, I will stick with my club. But Chelsea fans are like, if Maresca goes, then I think I will just be passive in football. I will not be supporting any team, but I will just be. It is my team. If they win, it's okay, but they are going to lose that life in them. They are going to lose whatever they invested in Chelsea, because they are now going to see that the club is gone. Yes,
Do
I
you
think.
hear what Jimmy Garaga is just saying now? I was
I
watching
don't
him.
like. I don't like even to listen to him. He's just spewing some.
He just said that he doesn't see Maresca as a manager next season with at what's happening now.
Yeah, they're going to sack him. That I know they're going to sack him. I know. I
Tyrone,
know.
you've been saying this. What these whispers are they really? Because you've been saying it like it's almost happened. I thought this is
I
just a
said
little
it.
ruffle.
In fact, I did a video like when Isaac was telling me that Maresca has to go earlier on. I said whenever you hear that Maresca out, Maresca must go. Whenever
So
you hear
you know
that,
what is controversial now? They want to sack him for different reasons. I
yeah,
was
they don't want to sack
saying
him.
that Maresca should go for another reason. But the reason they want to sack Maresca now, I'm supporting him because I wanted things to be like that. Now he
You
understood.
watch.
He
You wa-
wants also to have some power, which
yeah.
what they don't give him. I'm
You
supporting that.
you also remember with Pochettino, things were okay. You see, one thing I always say, it's not like I'm a Pochettino fan because people may think that because I mention him a lot. But Pochettino is this likable guy. He's this likable guy. Like, I've not even seen any manager fight with Pochettino in the touchline. He's a very likable guy. Even when you see him in his press conference, even you see him interacting with the players, even his former players, he's a likable guy. So I was asking myself, if Pochettino is this friendly, you even remember what Jackson put in his Instagram when Pochettino was sacked? You remember that message that Jackson put? You
No,
remember
I
the
don't
message
remember.
that go and check Jackson's post, you will see. He talked about her. I'm so sad, Gaffer, for going. You've really done this for me. I could not repay what you've done for me. You've really helped the team. You are very close. In fact, all players were doing that. All players, like he used to come sometimes in the training session. He'll bring sausages. They will have barbecue in training. He used to do that. Pochettino used to do that. Then thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that. So Pochettino used to do that. Then this Pochettino walked away. You see, Pochettino could work with Daniel Levy for 5 years. He will work with Daniel Levy for 5. Do you know a manager who can work with that man? A manager who can work with Daniel Levy for 5 years. How difficult. This is a man you will enter into a transfer window with injuries. He will look you in the eye and he will tell you, I'm not signing anyone. You have to work with whatever you got. And the window will go without even signing even one player. An entire transfer window goes without signing even one player. He's telling you, use the players I already signed. That is Daniel Levy. And Pochettino could work with this guy. But with Chelsea, he walked away. He walked away. People say that he was sacked. He did not sack. And that's why people are saying Maresca will walk away. And why will Maresca walk away? Juventus are courting him. Juventus want him. Juve want him. So he'll be like, here at Chelsea, I'm not being treated well. But with Juventus, I'll go back to my home country. I'll be home. And then this is a club that I will get continuity. I'm able to build and look to win the Serie A and look to win the Champions League. These ones here, they don't want to win. They want
Yes,
players. They want Hato's price to increase. They want Estevao's price to increase so that Estevao can be signed by Real Madrid for 130 million.
you are right. You are right. You explain clearly their plan. You're right.
So it's not like even Maresca will be sacked. I think he will probably walk at the end of the season. But one thing I want to do, I want him to win something so big.
He
So
will.
big. Like,
He will
I want
win.
him to win,
He will
even if
win
it is.
something big. I wanted to tell you, he will win something big, and then he will go to make another team better than Chelsea.
And that's why I'm
He'll go
saying,
somewhere else and make his name because, like
Of
Isaac has
course.
said, these people have careers. Players have careers. We have careers. Tyrone.
Yes.
I don't know what you do for your 9 to 5 work, but everybody has a career, and you want
Yes.
to progress in your career. And guess
Of
who he
course.
learned from? Pep Guardiola. So he wants to be a top manager one day. And
and you
again,
see what?
this will be good on in his CV. We call it
Yeah,
resume,
yeah.
CV. This will be good because he overperformed. Nobody thought he was gonna win 2 trophies last
Yeah.
year. So I just wanted to put that.
And actually, I think because I think that probably Pep, if he wins the league this season, I think he will walk. Maresca can even walk and go to Man City. Can do it.
Why not? Why not?
Pep can say, I recommend this guy. Take this guy to replace me. Because look at all what the Peppers, the students of Pep, Xavi, he has won a league title. Look at Vincent Company. He's dominating Bundesliga. Look at Arteta, what Arteta is doing at Arsenal. Look at what Maresca. So Pep has crafted them in a way that they are well tactically, and they also have the work rate of Pep, and they have the mentality of Pep to win. So this is a manager who wants to win. Fans want to win, but the club wants to sell.
Yeah. Yes, you summarize everything.
But Tyrone, the club wants to win, but they want to win like this.
Isaac, you've said that for once now you are like, okay, this Maresca guy, I think we are in the same page. It is the board that we are not in the same page. Yeah.
Yes. He is claiming for something which is right, 100% right. I'm supporting him 100% in this. If he win, I will be so happy. This is what I want.
I want him to win the league and then the Champions League and the FA Cup, or even the Champions League and the Carabao Cup. And I want him to win it when he has made the situation so toxic that he can't be the manager next season, so that he goes, so that whoever they bring is a downgrade. I'm telling you, the fans will protest outside the bridge. They will be protesting every game. You see the way the fans were started to sing, "We want our Chelsea back. We want."
Sure.
Yeah. It's going to be very bad. It's going to be very bad.
Right, and they quelled all of that because they're like, well, we won Club World Cup and we won Conference League, so the fans are gonna feel better. And we all came into this season, we're like, our Chelsea is back. Now the cracks are starting to show, and again, we're not 100% sure, right? You can't come into a full-blown conclusion. I just suspect. I'm just trying to put 2 and 2, and I'm like, it looks like these people are for profit. We know they are for profit, but like that Garnacho and Gittins, I feel like we could have gotten a better winger than Gittins. And then most of us were excited, but we forgot there's going to be teething issue. He has to learn the system, which is another half a season.
And also getting a player from the Bundesliga to the Premier League is a different thing. You see, this is why I don't usually. This is why I'm like, if we have a first team, that's why I'm saying, if we know this is our first team, we shouldn't go in the market to try and build the first, only to add maybe 1 or 2 players. But we have a team. You see, that is what I always say. We already have a team. Now, what we should be going into the transfer window is to look at how we're going to sell Disasi, Tosin, Sterling, all these other players. And then how, because I think Gittens will be better next season. Garnacho will be better next season. Those are things that, because even Neto, he started last season slowly, but this season is our best attacker. João Pedro, do I think João Pedro is he's not a bad player. I think he will be good also next season. But the thing is, they want to bring in now, they will have to sell one starting player so that they can bring in Paez or Cuenda or that is it. So it's like they don't want to win, and I really don't know what to say.
Tyrone is going to be, remember watching Tom and Jerry as a kid, right? Where Somebody is baiting you. They let you come close, and fans were excited. Quenda. And then the rope moves back again. And then we let you come close again, and you're excited. And then it goes back. So, because if Quenda and all these guys are coming in like next season, including Pendas, who's in Strasbourg, who is going to be sold this season
They have to sell
or
one
after
person.
this season? You
I
think
think
just
And
one?
they're gonna loan the lab to Strasbourg.
And then
I
Emaga
think
will come the other way? The
Yes.
Emaga, okay. You know,
and then this
Strasbourg,
player,
their fans hate these Chelsea owners because they can never
because
have a good player for more than one season. We
I
come
think they will sell Tozin. They will sell Tozin and bring that Aaron Anselmino.
you see even Isaac knows players that I don't even know. Because myself, I'm focused on the players who are going to. I don't want to care about how many players are there. I don't want to care. I want to know these 20 players in this
but
team who
Tyrone,
are going to
you
win
some
me.
of us Tyrone, some of us still watch Strasbourg because we're looking at Pires to see how they are doing, and Pendas as well. Because Pendas is the reason why they didn't buy Mike Mannion, because they're betting that he might be the future Courtois.
There is nothing like the future Couture. They just want him to come in, then they sell him. You see, if they, let me tell you something. If they were interested about a goalkeeper, then Petrovic was there. Like I have never understood why they decided that they're going to keep Jorgensen and sell Petrovic. I have never seen the reason why. Because if you tell me
Their
that
reason
Sanchez
is
is
that
injured,
Petrovic was asking to be a number one.
no,
That's the only
I
reason.
let me debunk that. Let me debunk that. Petrovic did not demand to be a number one. Petrovic just wanted a share fair of games, which is if Sanchez is playing in the Premier League, Petrovic can play in the Champions League. I think he would be okay with that. If he's playing in midweek in the Champions League and in the Cups, he will be okay with that. I think that Petrovic playing every day in the Champions League and playing in the Cups, I think he will be okay with that. Because now we're in a situation where if Sanchez gets injured, we don't have a goalkeeper. Because
Yeah.
Jorgensen cannot claim crosses. He cannot claim crosses.
That guy
that
is
guy,
not a
cannot.
that
goalkeeper.
guy cannot
That guy
hold
is
the
not a
ball,
goalkeeper.
and you know he's also a liability because he also injures his teammates. Have you guys
He's not a
forgotten?
goalkeeper.
he gave Fofana a knock.
And that is and there is and that knock made Fofana not play. That knock made Fofana not play the Brentford game. Because it also
Yeah.
costed us points because Tosin now had to play. He injured Fofana and he made now Tosin to play.
So do you now see the cascading events, cause and effect of, Mike Maignan, he's 32. We can't buy him for 20 million. The funny thing is, I feel like if we had paid 20 million for Maignan, we could have still
And I
gotten
also had
a
some rumors.
substantial amount of money. Oh, go ahead, Isaac.
I had some rumors that they will sell also Malugusto.
They can. They can. I can never put it beyond them. They can. They actually can do it.
And if
Yeah,
they
they
do
want
it, Maresca is going to be
to Bayern
upset
Munich.
because he really likes Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto is among his core players that he trusts, whether it's for working hard, for running, all of that. You know, we have a conspiracy that Maresca has his favorites, and I know Malo Gusto is among his favorites. He can make a mistake and he'll play next game. You know, that's his core favorites. Yeah, I have a conspiracy
Yeah.
that if you're not in the
No,
core
yeah.
favorites and you make a mistake, you get punished for 3-4 games.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. He does have his favorites. And also another player who is his favorite. Who's also his favorite? He has favorites. Even Garnacho is looking like he's one of his favorites. He also likes Garnacho. Gittens can put up a good performance, but he will still pick Garnacho when he needs. He also, even Neto is one of his favorite players.
Oh yeah. Neto is there. I think it's something about working hard. The ones that
Yeah,
can
yeah.
track back, run, do all this extra and all of that.
And even
He likes
and
that.
even and even me, if I'm a coach, I like them. But I wouldn't like Jao Pedro. I would be quarreling with him. Like, why are you walking?
And the thing is, I don't really understand why people have issue with Jao Pedro because I don't see it. I think he just presses intelligently. Or maybe again, you guys are more into tactical analysis. The thing is, Jao Pedro is not a nine. He's more of a supporting striker. He plays best as a supporting striker, in my opinion. Let's not
So why
forget
did
Jao Pedro when he came Club World Cup, and now I think he's also overthinking. He's not as instinctive as remember when he came during the Club World Cup, he was sharp, he knew what he wanted to do. That there's doubt in his game now. Whether he's not taking the shots at the right time or he's touching and making a lot of touches with the ball instead of being decisive. So
Yeah, yeah. So yes, guys, and think now probably we've really gone for quite some time because I know there are some people who probably want to rewatch this. So I'll just get your final remarks. So Isaac, what is your final remarks? What do you expect, and what do you hope?
Let's play tomorrow. I think from tomorrow games we are going to get more information, more body language, especially from Maresca. And on my side, I'm supporting him. I want him to win the game tomorrow, and then we see next step
You
for
want
Premier League.
you want short and simple. You
Sorry, come
want a
again.
successful. Short and simple. You
Yes,
want a successful season,
yeah,
and
because
a
now is
successful season is
yeah. I see now is aligned with me. Is claiming the things I was saying before that he should have a word to say. He should have a word to say. Now he's aligned and is the kind of ambitious people. Yeah, when you are ambitious, you need to have a certain power in the team. They cannot use your skill like a robot. No. So regarding
is
the this season, I think Maresca will win the Carabao Cup, and then we are going to win the Champions League. Premier League is still hard, but there is a but. If
let's just try to close the gap.
yeah, yeah.
Elba, what can you say? You are muted.
yeah, I
You're
personally
okay.
don't. I don't think we're gonna win the Premier League. I think winning a Premier League it requires consistency, and it also requires having a deep bench. We know that. I mean, we've won Premier Leagues. We've seen how managers have done it. People in and out of the rotation, it brings down consistency. So I personally, I don't think we're gonna win. And I think it's a general consensus for most sane people. Again, I'm not calling anybody insane, but most sane people are like, yeah, we were in the title race for a little bit, but now it's very clear that it's going to be a tussle between Arsenal and Manchester City. In fact, some people but again, sometimes it's an overreaction because like joke, we're now back in the top four, and so I don't think it's a priority for us to win the Premier League for the owners of the club. I don't think so. They've said it in very subtle ways. If it happens by mistake, I think it's good, perfect. But if it does not happen, there's no pressure to bring us back to what we view Chelsea and what they bought Chelsea for. There might be a misalignment. And so, right now, as a Chelsea fan, I'm just going to be taking it day by day because I have to worry about my heart. In the end, we're passionate fans, but we're not getting paid for this. We're just passionate about this club. And, I'm sure they're diehard Chelsea fans. I became a Chelsea fan in 2003 back home. I was still in Africa then, the Mourinho days. Tyrone, the football places where they have a generator and different TVs, and you pay like little money and you sit down. The viewing centers. That's how I became
Yeah.
a Chelsea fan. And
Yeah. I remember them. I know them. I know them.
right, I became by going to the viewing centers. And so now I'm just kind of taking it day by day because in the end, we as fans, we want to feel connected to the club. And part of that connection is connection to the players. If I can't predict what player is going to be here next season, I'm already having a connection with one player. Next thing you sell him for profit. In as much as I didn't care for Jackson missing goals, there was still some type of connection. And then next thing I'm like, why can't we have competition between Jackson, Delap, and Jao Pedro? Because who foresaw the injuries? If Jackson was still here when they had the injuries, we would have just put Jackson to play.
Move.
And so the way that thing played out was very weird to me. But now I understand these owners because from this loan, right, they have already made half of what they paid for Jackson. And mind you, this has been 3 years. So they're already factoring in depreciation. So any money now they get after this loan for Jackson, whether it's 40 million, they have made money in the books. And literally too. Because they bought him for 32, they have already got 12 or 15, which is almost half of 32. Now imagine you get 40. 40 plus 15, 65. They have doubled their money.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, what I wanted to say, probably before we leave, is that I'm also in this position where I'm like I am backing the guy. I am standing with him. One thing that I would like to see him is that I don't want to be in a top four race this season. I'm not saying I want to challenge for the Premier League. I don't want to be in a top four race. I don't want the season to end that I have to beat this team to play in the Champions League. I want it to be a foregone conclusion that I'll be third. If Arsenal or Manchester City will be ahead of us, I want to be either second or third. I don't want to be there trying to fight for I want other teams, fourth, fifth, sixth, let them fight for it. But I want to be so good in this number three that I don't have to deal with these other teams. That is one. The Champions League, I'm not going to talk about it until I'm in the round of 16. That is when I can now say that we can win. But we are not even in a perfect place we are not even in a perfect place in the group stage by itself. So that is one thing. So I would like to win the Carabao Cup. I think we have the opportunity. I think winning the Carabao Cup in February and being in a good position in the league takes a lot of pressure from the team and the manager because the Carabao Cup is around February. So you win it, it takes all the pressure from the manager, it takes all the pressure from the team. So at least there's that winning spirit is renewed in the team. So if you are probably in the Champions League, the team can now go to try and win it. The team can now go to try and win the FA Cup. So I think those are the three competitions. But the Premier League, what I've said, my expectation for the Premier League this season, if we can do a miracle and win it, I'm happy. I don't think that is going to happen. But if we are going to try to finish in the Champions League, I don't want to be dragged into that race. I don't want to sit here waiting for Newcastle to drop points or Aston. No, I don't want that. I want, if it is third, it is third. Get a minimum of 35 points in the first leg. Go and get 40 points in the second leg. Get 75 points. It's over. That's what I can say. With Maresca, it is good that he has come out. A lot of people thought he was a yes man. They sacked Pochettino because Pochettino was a yes man who turned to be excuse me, I cannot do this. They had Maresca to be a yes man. Maresca has also shown them that he's an ambitious manager, and it's quite clear that if you are an ambitious manager, you want to win, you want to develop, you want to be a great manager, then Chelsea Football Club might not be the place for you. Yeah, in Chelsea, come grow assets, develop assets, then be ready to allow those assets to be sold and be comfortable with it. So I probably think that we'll need to look for a manager who's comfortable with just developing players, and that's all. So
But
anyway,
Tyrone,
guys,
when you say that, one last thing, what happens to us? Because that means we're gonna be on the wayside. Whatever happens, I mean,
It's a good question. What happened to us? It's a good question.
I don't know what is going to happen with Isaac, because I think Isaac his heart will be wrecked. He'll be like, then why am I alive? Maybe because of his family. I said, let me just be alive because of my family. But you have sucked the soul out of me. You've killed my entertainment because that is the way it is.
We're gonna be a Atletico Madrid in the Premier League. This is what will happen to us.
You win a league once every 7 years.
Yes.
But now
And
the problem is that
we'll be there to try to try Real Madrid or Barcelona to win the title. This is the kind of team we are going to.
But I don't think we're going to be Atletico, because we don't have a Simeone who's going to be our manager for over 15 years. And you see, the Premier League, you will not get away with it like the La Liga. You see, this game that Clear Lake are playing, this game of signing small players and selling them for high value. This game is not sustainable because everybody in the Premier League is improving. Aston Villa are improving. Newcastle are improving. Liverpool will be there. And let me say this. Let nobody lie to you that Liverpool might not be in the top 4. Because the way I'm seeing it, they're now starting to recover. And they will start winning games. Once they start winning games, they will be back there. They might even finish third. This Liverpool team. Yeah, so you have Liverpool. Manchester United are also improving. Manchester United, with all their faults, they are also improving. So you have Newcastle, you have Manchester United, you have...
We have the same level as Man U.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying... That's why I'm saying whatever they are trying to do will not survive at Chelsea. The games they are trying to play will not survive at Chelsea, because it will be two things. It's either you're going to play this game, and now, you see, they were able to fool fans for some time. You know, this Bob Marley used to say this: you can fool some people sometime, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. So it reaches a point where people are like, we have seen your game. You are giving us false hope. Then you are trying to tell us that it is the manager. Then whenever things start, whenever we realize that we start to buy into something, you tell us that the manager is not right. So if you're sacking Maresca, go and bring Pep because you want to win. Because if Maresca, you're sacking him because he's rotating players, then go and bring Pep so that you can now win for us the treble, so that we can know that you are ambitious. But you're trying to tell us that you're going to sack Maresca and bring Southgate. I think it's, as Claude used to say, it's time to go. This was between Maresca and the owners. It's because the owner are here for business, but we as fans and Maresca are here after trophies. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks Isaac and Elba. Elba,
oh,
I don't know.
You,
do you want before you go, do you want to join our group?
Yeah, sure. You know,
leave your number here in the private chat. There's a private chat. Are you able to access it?
I can directly message you, right?
Yeah, just leave it here and then I add you.
Okay.
Add you. Yeah, leave it here in the private chat.
Okay.
I will add you there. You can be popping up some. That's when we can notify you. We always find we have gone
when
live.
You guys go live. Okay, yeah. And some days, you know, like I'm like, I hope Tyrone goes, let me vent my frustration. And it's not even frustration about winning or not winning, because
it is a therapy session there. Don't worry.
In the back.
It's a therapy session.
Yeah, like Isaac wanted this. Isaac was like, Tyrone, when are you going live? I have a lot of questions. So you can leave your number there in the
Okay, I
private
will.
chat.
I will, and I know you gotta go. One last thing though, Isaac and Tyrone, what are the whispers? Because I've not seen these whispers. You guys sound like this Maresca thing is bigger than we're thinking. I thought it's just a media, people are overreacting.
I told Isaac, the day you see the manager stop wearing Chelsea's merchandise, you know it is bad. Yeah, I told you, Isaac, that thing.
Yes, yeah.
Hmm.
Even before he said anything, I just told him the manager is now wearing a different thing. Things are bad.
Hmm.
So after the Everton game, he said it, but he had already. I can even show you the message I sent to them. I sent them in the group. I told them things seems not to be okay.
Wow, Tyrone. So you knew something
I
was going on.
I don't know. I always know how to sense when something bad is about to happen, but I'm not saying it's going to
Right.
happen. Hopefully, you've left it so I can add it, or I just leave my number there. You will text me. Let him type. Isaac, you remember that?
Look in
Yeah.
the chat.
I remember.
Okay, so man, this is my in this StreamYard, so just be patient with me. But he says I
Or
can
I
start
can.
a conversation.
Yeah. There.
Okay. Hello.
You
Okay.
see, it's
All right.
I'm seeing they have already started to pay. Yeah, I can see it. You can type it there. I see
Okay.
now they are. You've done it.
No,
Okay,
I'm
it's
about
on.
to type it. Yes. So
They
Okay,
have now started. Oh, I'm seeing at Chelsea have held discussions with Xavi.
is it serious?
I don't know. Maybe this guy is just trying
So
to
guys,
sell
I have to
Xavi.
go. I have to go.
Yeah, I have to go. They don't know what is. I just want to. You can just leave. I want just
Yeah.
to Elba to leave me his number here. You've typed it, Elba. You're unmuted. You're mute. Oh yeah, I've seen it. Plus 51. You're muted.
yeah. Did you see it?
Yeah. Is it plus 51 or
No,
plus
it's
one?
plus one. Yeah.
Plus USA.
Yeah. We know you will have to be careful with OPSEC. Anyway, so it's
Let me
plus
end
one.
let me end the stream so that I can